It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Jack, a struggling single father, was walking home from his second job. His son, little Tommy, had been sick all week, and money was tighter than ever. Jack's mind was a whirlwind of worry. How would he pay for the medicine, the groceries, and still keep a roof over their heads? He felt exhausted, beaten down by life, and invisible in the busy world around him. Then, just as he turned a corner, he saw them, a young mother struggling with an overstuffed stroller and her small daughter tugging at her hand. Their faces were pale and tired, their clothes soaked from the rain. Something inside Jack stirred. Even though he had almost nothing, he felt an undeniable pull to help. He had no idea that this simple act of kindness would change everything, not just for them, but for him too. Call to action. Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub, hit that like button, and leave a comment about the last time someone's kindness made a difference in your life. Now, let's get into the story. Main story. Jack had always believed in helping when you could, no matter how small. Life hadn't been easy for him. He had lost his wife 3 years ago and had been raising Tommy alone ever since. Money was always a struggle, and yet, Jack carried himself with quiet dignity, teaching his son that kindness mattered more than anything else. That rainy day, Jack noticed the mother struggling to keep the stroller steady as the little girl's tiny shoes splashed through puddles. Her hair clung to her face from the wet, and her hands shook slightly as she tried to keep the stroller upright. Without thinking, Jack approached them. "Hey, can I give you a hand?" he asked gently, smiling despite the rain soaking him through. The mother hesitated. There was a guarded look in her eyes, as if she wasn't sure if she could trust anyone. But Jack's kind tone and warm eyes seemed to melt her doubt. "Oh, thank you," she said softly. "It's been a rough day." Jack lifted the stroller with ease and walked alongside them, guiding them through the slippery sidewalks. As they walked, they exchanged small talk. Jack learned that her name was Emily, and her daughter, Lily, was 7. Emily explained that they had been traveling from a nearby town, hoping to get a job interview for a new start. But the rain had turned everything into chaos. Jack listened carefully. He didn't interrupt, he didn't judge, he just offered quiet support. Then he made a suggestion. "There's a diner a few blocks from here," he said. "Warm food, dry seats. Why don't you two grab something to eat while you figure out your next steps?" Emily looked surprised. I don't know. I can't pay." Jack waved her off. "Don't worry about that. Consider it a small act of kindness. We all need a little help sometimes." Inside the diner, Jack watched Emily and Lily warm up to him as they ate. Lily laughed at Jack's exaggerated stories about his son's school antics, and Emily's shoulders seemed to relax for the first time in weeks. Jack felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. He realized that helping others, even in the smallest way, could bring light into everyone's life, even his own. As they finished their meal, Emily's eyes welled up with tears. "You've been so kind," she whispered. "I don't even know how to thank you." Jack shrugged, trying to appear casual. Kindness doesn't need a reward. It's just the right thing to do. What Jack didn't know was that Emily and Lily were far from ordinary. Emily had recently been widowed and had been struggling to provide for her daughter while navigating a complicated world. But more than that, Emily had an extraordinary gift for connecting with people, a gift that often went unnoticed. She had been looking for someone genuine, someone whose heart wasn't tainted by the hardships of life. And in Jack, she had found exactly that. Over the next few weeks, Jack and Emily stayed in touch. They exchanged messages, offered help when needed, and slowly, a bond formed. Jack continued to provide small acts of support, from giving Emily a ride to job interviews to helping her navigate the local community resources. In return, Emily shared her own skills. She helped Jack with resume tips, community networking, and even offered to tutor Tommy when he struggled with schoolwork. One day, Jack invited Emily and Lily to his small apartment for dinner. It was nothing fancy, just simple pasta and bread, but the warmth in the room was palpable. Tommy and Lily ran around, laughing and sharing stories about school and adventures, while Jack and Emily talked quietly in the kitchen. It was during that dinner that Emily revealed something that left Jack stunned. She had recently received a small inheritance from a distant relative, a modest sum that she had been saving to stabilize her family's future. But after seeing Jack's selflessness, she wanted to use a portion of it to help him. "I know it's not much," Emily said, her eyes shining, "but I want to help you and Tommy. You've given us so much already, your kindness, your time, your heart. Please let me give something back. Jack felt a lump form in his throat. He had never imagined that a simple act of helping someone would turn into this, a circle of kindness that seemed to multiply with every gesture, but the surprises weren't over. Emily explained that Lily had a rare medical condition that required special care, and the stress of managing her daughter's health while staying afloat financially had been overwhelming. Jack, with his quiet determination and practical problem-solving skills, stepped in to help manage appointments, medications, and logistics. Together, they formed a small but incredibly strong support system. Months passed, and the bond between Jack, Tommy, Emily, and Lily grew stronger. Jack's apartment felt fuller, warmer, and alive with laughter. Emily had secured a new job, one that allowed her to focus on her family while still using her talents. Jack, too, found new opportunities through Emily's connections, improving their stability and confidence. What had started as a chance meeting in the rain had blossomed into something neither Jack nor Emily could have predicted, a chosen family built entirely on kindness, trust, and mutual support. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in shades of pink and lavender, the four of them sat on Jack's small balcony, sharing stories of the day and plans for the future. Jack looked at Emily and Lily, then at Tommy, and felt a profound sense of gratitude. Life had thrown him so many challenges, yet it had also led him to people who reminded him of the power of human connection. Emily broke the comfortable silence. "You know," she said softly, "the world needs more people like you, Jack. People who act with kindness, even when it's hard, even when it costs them something. You've taught me that, and I hope we can keep passing it on." Jack smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest he hadn't felt in years. "We all do what we can," he replied. "And sometimes, just sometimes, it comes back in ways we could never expect." From that day forward, Jack, Emily, Tommy, and Lily continued to help others in their community. They volunteered at shelters, supported neighbors in need, and shared meals with those who had none. Their story became a ripple of kindness, inspiring everyone around them. The true lesson of their story was simple yet powerful: kindness isn't measured by wealth or status. It's measured by the willingness to act, to care, and to extend yourself even when life feels heavy. A single act, given without expectation, can transform lives in ways you never imagined. Jack often reflected on that rainy day when he first helped Emily and Lily. At the time, he thought he was giving them something small, just a little help to get through the storm. But what he didn't realize was that in that moment, he had opened the door to a life richer than he could have ever dreamed, a life full of laughter, love, and an unshakable sense of purpose. And as for Emily and Lily, they never forgot the man who had shown them humanity at its finest. They often recounted the story to friends and family, sharing how a simple act of kindness had not only saved them from despair but had also given them a second chance at hope, family, and happiness. In the end, the story of Jack, Emily, Tommy, and Lily reminds us that we never truly know the impact of our actions. Every kind word, every helping hand, every small gesture can set off a chain reaction that changes lives. And sometimes, when we act without expecting anything in return, life surprises us with blessings beyond imagination. Conclusion: so the next time you see someone struggling, remember Jack. Remember that even if you feel like you have nothing to give, your kindness matters. It can turn a stormy day into a turning point, a stranger into family, and ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. Kindness is contagious. It doesn't require wealth, status, or power. It only requires an open heart and the courage to act. And in a world that can often feel dark and overwhelming, it's those simple acts of love and care that remind us what truly matters. If this story inspired you, take a moment today to show kindness to someone else. You never know whose life you might change or how your own life might be changed in return.